Hey everybody, this is Dead Winter Dead with another Battlefield 4 video for you. Well, just like I promised in my last video, we are taking a look at the defense side of Giants of Karelia on Rush. Now, if you remember my basic Rush tactics for Karelia, one of the things that I said is that if you are an attacker, you want to push left. The reason is because it allows you easy access to the Alpha MCOM, and as you can see here, they have gained easy access to that MCOM, and they are moving around and behind us by pushing left. The mistake that they made was allowing us to gain ground on the right-hand side, which gave us a little bit easier defense of the Bravo MCOM. Now, I told you in my last video that there was going to be sort of a controversial tactic, and let me kind of explain to you what I meant by that. What I like to typically do in rush matches is divide the enemy and take advantage of the single basic principle of rush. And the basic principle of rush is that the attackers are focused on only 2 points, MCOM A and MCOM B. They tend to get tunnel vision and they tend to cluster up in groups and try to take pot shots at the defenders, wait for an opening, and then break into an undefended lane in order to attack either MCOM A or MCOM B. And while they're clustered up, they typically do not look behind them, and they typically do not look left or right because of that tunnel vision mentality. Now, I take advantage of this. I exploit this very basic ideal that a lot of players do. And I've been caught in that rush trap too, where you just bunch up behind a piece of indestructible cover with 6 or 8 or even 10 squad teammates and take pot shots at bad guys until an opening arrives, and then you can rush down and actually attack the objectives. We've all been caught up in that kind of trap where you get blinders on, you're like, oh, I gotta get it, and it happens to us all. Unfortunately, the defenders are typically caught up in this idea where, like, I only have to defend 2 points, I only have to defend 2 points and make sure that they don't get a hold of it. Well, most rush maps, yes, while there are only 2 MCOMs to be defended and or attacked at one time, there are usually multiple lanes, multiple avenues to those MCOMs. So if you simply just look in front of you and focus on any threat in front of you, you're missing, the other 200 degrees of the battle around you. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. We are now on the 3rd set of MCOMs. Remember in my last video I told you that the 1st and 2nd set typically go pretty quickly because they're fairly well balanced. The defenders don't have a real edge. In fact, the attackers are the ones that have the edge in the 1st and 2nd set of MCOMs. It starts to even out a little bit here, and this is why. There are plenty of opportunities, especially from the defender's standpoint. If you move left, if you're a defender, move to the left, you have plenty of cover using this tiny little knoll because everyone has to cross the river. And if you start getting shot at, you can easily pull back like I did here. But as you saw in the first part of that clip, and as you'll see again here, I'm able to take shots at these guys and from almost any distance. And the reason I can do it from almost any distance is because in this instance I'm using an MG4, which has a 200 round box magazine, which means you can fire all day long. You can miss all day long if you're a terrible shot, but the point is you don't have to sit there and you don't have to reload. As you can also see, I'm also just within 50 or 60 meters of one of the MCOMs itself, so I can actually rush forward if they break through. In this case, the attackers were actually being intelligent, and they used smoke to cover their assault, and I wasn't able to penetrate that smoke with my sight. If I had been running some sort of advanced combat optic, like an infrared night vision sight or something like that, I would have been able to penetrate that smoke. But I typically don't run those types of sights in Battlefield at all. I don't like to use them. I prefer the Coyote or the 2-time sight with really any RDS. The other weapon that you can use that is extremely effective is the M240 Bravo. Now the muzzle velocity on the 240 Bravo is a little bit slower than the MG4, I believe, which means if you slap a suppressor on there, which is key for this tactic, you're essentially cutting your bullet speed, the bullet travel speed across the environment in almost half. So you're really going to have to lead your targets, especially at longer ranges. But the MG4 and the M249 but especially the M240 Bravo, they can really reach out across maps and take guys down. The extra damage that the 240 Bravo does is almost essential if you're facing multiple bad guys. If you get a headshot along with a body shot, it's a 2-shot kill with a 240 Bravo because of that 2x headshot multiplier. But you also have to take distance into account as well. Now, many people might look at this and be like, oh, well, yeah, I know what that is. You're just spawn camping. And let me be very clear about this. This is not necessarily spawn camping. I do have the MCOMs behind me, and I am getting in the enemy's rear area. I know that sounds funny for you jokers. Oh, he's in the guy's rear area. But I'm not in their spawn. Let me, again, make that clear. I am not in their spawn. If you are someone who actually spawn camps people, like you sit inside their spawn, you wait for them to spawn, and then you kill them, you are a bad person. I do not endorse that, but I absolutely do endorse this tactic of throwing on a suppressor, take advantage of the blinders that the attackers have, rush up undefended lanes. You're essentially just going back up the pipe towards the attackers. Get behind them, get beside them, take them down with that suppressor, stay stealthy, and stay deadly. My name's Dead Winter Dead. Thanks for watching.